सतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति 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 ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति।
Om Nam Shivaya. My humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Amma. To highlight the role of social science in today's society and to develop our students to visualize the future of the nation and to create sensible and responsible citizens, our school, Amrita Vidyalayam Haripad, organizes a social science exhibition every year. This exhibition focuses on upholding the subsistence of the youngsters in the country at a massive scale. It provides students the platform to showcase various projects and models prepared by them as part of the project-based learning methodology. The brightest minds have presented their most innovative ideas here today. I, therefore, invite everybody to show their perception of this creative exhibition. Welcome you all to this Social Science Club exhibition.
Om Namah Shivaya. I am Navneet Hari of Class 8B. Today I am going to present a model of the Great Bath. The Great Bath is one of the well-known structure among the ruins of the ancient Indus Valley civilization at Mohenjo-daro in Sindh, Pakistan. The Great Bath was a large rectangular tank in a courtyard surrounded by a corridor on all four sides. There were two flights of steps on the north and south leading into the tank, which was made watertight by setting bricks on edge and using a mortar of gypsum. This brick-built structure measures approximately 11.8 meters length and 7 meters wide with a maximum depth of 2.4 meters. There were rooms on all the three sides, in one of which was a large well. Water from the tank flowed into a huge drain. Scholars generally believe that the Great Bath was meant for some kind of a special ritual bath. The Great Bath was also the standing example of the engineering skill of the Harappan people. By this, I am concluding my words. Thank you. Namaskar.
Hi, I am Krishna Priya of class 9C. I am going to present the model of India Gate. India Gate, an important monument in our country,
It is located in Rajpath in New Delhi. It was built to remember more than 80,000 Indian soldiers who died during the First World War. The monument is an imposing structure 42-meter high arc and was designed by the famous architect Sir Edward Lutyens. The iconic India Gate is made using sandstone, is one of the largest war memorials in the country with the names of over 13,000 soldiers written on it. Its foundation was led by Duke of Connaught, the third son of Queen Victoria, on 10th February 1921. After 10 long years, on 12th February 1931, Viceroy Lord Irwin inaugurated and dedicated the structure to the nation. India Gate was earlier named All India War Memorial. India Gate is a symbol of Indian soldiers' courage and determination.
Om Namah Shivaya. I'm Ashwati Sangasha, class 8A. This is a model of seismograph. Seismographs are instruments used to record the motion of ground during an earthquake. A record produced by seismograph are called seismogram. Seismogram detect the shock waves produced by an earthquake and also record the shock waves on the paper in the form of graph.
Namaskar. Today I am going to show a model of windmill. So, this is the model of a windmill. This is a windmill house with street lights. These objects are provided electricity by this windmill. The turbine at its back produces electricity which are connected via cables to this house and street lights. When wind passes through this turbine, it starts to rotate. The minimum speed of a wind to rotate a windmill is 15 km an hour. Its advantages are it does not produce pollution and less land consumption.
Om Namah Shivaya. My name is Vishnudev Jain. I am studying in 8th A. This is a small working model of earthquake alarm. When an earthquake comes, this screw start going in an upward direction and the alarm start ringing. I will show you a small demo. I will turn on this machine. When I shake this, thank you.
Namshaya. So today I am presenting before you a model showing different layers of the soil. So let me explain them one by one. Topsoil. Topsoil is the outermost layer of soil, usually the top 5 to 10 inches. It has the highest concentration of organic matter and microorganisms and is where most of the Earth's biological soil activity occurs. Topsoil is composed of mineral particles, organic matter, water and air. Subsoil. Subsoil is the layer of soil under the topsoil on the surface of the ground. Like topsoil, it is composed of a variable mixture of small particles such as sand, silt and clay, but with a much lower percentage of organic matter and humus. Barren material. Barren material is also known as sea horizon. Barren material is so called because it is the weathered rock and the partly weathered soil from which the soil layers above are formed. Bedrock. Bedrock is a hard, solid rock beneath surface materials such as soil and gravel. Bedrock also underlies sand and other sediments on the ocean floor. Thank you. Namaskar.
Amardeshwari Namaha. I am Shinsu Saji of class 8B. Today I am going to show the working model of lunar and solar eclipse. So let's watch it. Do you know what is an eclipse? Yes, when an astronomical object is temporarily obscured in an astronomical event, it is termed as eclipse. Eclipse is basically of two types, named lunar eclipse and solar eclipse. I will think this as our sun, this blue object as our planet Earth, and this white object as our moon. Do you know when do solar eclipse occurs? Let's see. So, when the moon passes between the sun and the earth, here arises the solar eclipse. So, this position is known as the solar eclipse. The distance of the moon from the earth during the event determines the type of solar eclipse. So, do you know when does lunar eclipse occur? Let's see. When the moon passes through the earth's shadow, then here arises the lunar eclipse. So when this position will arise, so we call it as lunar eclipse. It is not possible for both the solar eclipse and the lunar eclipse to happen on the same day. There are 4 types of solar eclipse. They are partial, annual, hybrid and total. There are 3 types of lunar eclipse. They are penumbral, partial and total. So the conclusion is that solar and lunar eclipse model helps us to understand the behavior of moon, earth and sun, which causes various types of eclipses. Thank you. Namaskar.
Namaskar. I am Amrita of class 10B.
Namaskar, I am Shruti of class 9C.
Today we are here to present a model of drip irrigation. Drip irrigation is a type of micro irrigation system which has the potential to save water and nutrients by allowing water to drip slowly to the roots of plants. The goal is to place water directly to the root zone and minimize evaporation. It is the most efficient water and nutrient delivery system for growing crops. It delivers water and nutrients to the plant's root zone in the right amounts at the right time, so each plant gets exactly what it needs when it needs to grow optimally. So here is our model of drip irrigation.
Om Namah Shivaya. My name is Bharat Diya. I'm from class 10B. Today I'm here to present to you my electronic hand sanitizer. We all know the importance of hand sanitizer, especially during this pandemic situation. The best way to keep ourselves safe from COVID-19 is to wash our hands with soap and water. Sanitizer, however, kills all the germs present on our skin. So let me explain to you how my electronic hand sanitizer works. The infrared sensors detect the infrared energy that is emitted by one's body heat. When the hands are placed in the proximity of the sensor, the infrared energy quickly fluctuates. This fluctuation triggers the pump to activate and dispense the designated amount of sanitizer. Now I'll demonstrate. Thank you for watching. Stay home, stay safe.
Agriculture is the mainstay of Indian economy. Today, we are here with different crop varieties of different states of India. First, we will start with our own state, Kerala.
Kerala is known as the kingdom of spices, and pepper, which is known as the king of spices, is one of the major crops from Kerala.
Tamil Nadu is famous for rice.
Karnataka is famous for its ragi production.
Andhra Pradesh is famous for sunflower.
Telangana is famous for moong dal.
Goa is famous for rice.
Maharashtra is famous for its barley production.
Gujarat is famous for groundnut.
Madhya Pradesh is famous for its turf production.
Rajasthan is famous for mustard.
Uttar Pradesh is famous for rice.
Haryana is famous for maize.
Punjab is famous for its wheat production.
Uttarakhand is famous for its soya bean.
Himachal Pradesh is famous for its barley production.
Jammu and Kashmir is famous for its wheat production.
Chhattisgarh is famous for its rice production.
Odisha is famous for its ragi production.
Jharkhand is also famous for sunflower production.
Bihar is famous for urad dhal.
Shivaya, I am Shabari from class 10. Shivaya, I am Adira from class 10B. This is a street model of cloth being cultivated using the method of terrace farming. Now, what is terrace farming? Terrace farming is a method of farming where the step known as terraces are built on the slope of the hills and mountains. When it rains, instead of the rainwater carrying away the soil nutrients and the water down the slope, it carries it to the next terrace, thereby providing water and soil nutrients to the crop in the next terrace. Since it is very difficult to cultivate crop in hilly and mountainous region, people living in this region practice this method for cultivation. Some crops that are grown using this method are tea, coffee, rice, paddy, etc. Thank you, Namashivaya.
Om Amadeshwari Namaha. Myself Anupama B of class 10A and myself Devki Rajesh of class 10B. Today we are going to depict the model of layers of soil. Topsoil. It consists of decomposed materials and organic matters. Below the topsoil lies the subsoil. Subsoil is less organic but it is rich in minerals brought on from the topsoil. Below the subsoil lies the parent rock. It consists of very small pieces of rocks. Below the parent rock lies the bedrock. It is made up of igneous, metamorphic and sedimentary rocks. Thank you, Namashivaya.
Namashivaya. I am Murmi and I am in class 10A. This is the wastewater treatment plant. Wastewater treatment means it is the process of removing undesirable chemicals, biological contaminants, suspended solids and gases from water. There are 5 stages for converting wastewater into filtered water. First, treatment center. Screening stage, primary treatment stage, second treatment stage, final treatment stage. So we are going to convert wastewater into filtered water. Finally, the filtered water in the garden. This water can be used for many purposes, for drinking purposes, cooking purposes, washing purposes. So thank you, Namashivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. My name is Vaishnavi of class 10A. Today I am presenting Indian coins and foreign coins. The coins are also an important social study of history. There are many symbols engraved on ancient coins. These do not help in scientific much, but when the Greeks started ruling over the northern and western parts of India, they started issuing coins on which many informations were mentioned. These are the memorial coins of India. Shyama Prasad, Rajiv Gandhi, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Alphonse Zaman, Saint Dukkaram, Desha Chitrendra Das, Lal Bahadur Shastri, and these are foreign coins. Thank you.
Let me show you a model of globe. Globe is a spherical model of Earth, of some other celestial body or of the celestial sphere. A model globe of Earth is called a terrestrial globe. A terrestrial globe shows land masses and water bodies. The word globe comes from the Latin word globus, meaning sphere.
Om Namah Shivaya. I am Renju.
And I am Sriveena.
We are presenting the model of soil profile.
We all know that soil is very important renewable resources.
And it is very important part of our life.
So let us see the model of soil profile.
First one, bedrock. It is an unweathered barren rock. Second one, substratum. It is an weathered barren rock. Third one, subsoil. It is the weathered rock, sand and silt clay. Fourth one, topsoil. It is the uppermost layer of the soil.
So we all saw that how the soil is formed and how many layers of soil is there.
Thank you, Namashwari.
Namaskar. My name is Amrita of class 9. I would like to introduce you the solar power irrigation system. It works under the basis of solar panel, controller, pump, overhead tank, farming of conserver, groundwater and the ground level. The solar irrigation uses the sun's energy to the pump irrigation, which helps the crop to grow. And the pump irrigation reduces the labor for water delivery. The system is an automatic irrigation system where the irrigation pump operated from the solar energy. It keeps monitoring the water level of the soil. This found mostly in arid regions such as South America, Africa and India. And it is also the main project which helps the local farmers to improve their living conditions. And the making of solar power irrigation system is simple. And the pump irrigation used for the water supplies are equipped by the solar cells. And it's the planning that makes it complex. So I hope that you understood the importance and uses of solar power irrigation system. Thank you, Namashivaya.
Namaskar. My name is Anjana of class 9A. Today I am going to present you the rainwater harvesting. This is the collection tank where the rainwater is stored and it will go to the filtration tank. Waste materials and all pieces are removed here. Then the pure and clean water will go to the well and we can use it. Rainwater harvesting is the collection and storage of rain rather than allowing it to run off. Rainwater harvesting is one of the simplest and the oldest method of self-supply of water. Tamil Nadu was the first state to make rainwater harvesting compulsory for every building to avoid underground depletion. When drought occurs, rainwater harvested in past month can be used. Sometimes the water getting from rainwater harvesting may be polluted. To avoid that, there is a common practice called pre-filtration. Pre-filtration is used in the industries to keep the system healthy and ensure that the water entering the tank is free of large sediments. I hope that you all understood about rainwater harvesting and the importance of rainwater harvesting. Thank you, Namashivaya.
Muteshwari Nama. Our obsequious pranams at the lotus feet of Sri Sri Mata Amritanandamayi Devi, our most beloved Amma.
So, as we all know, the concentration of CO2 in our environment is increasing. So, it's necessary for us to find an efficient way to reduce this. And here we are introducing to you the system CCS, Carbon Capture and Storage. An essential step in the reduction of global emission of greenhouse gases is the large-scale application of carbon capture and storage, CCS. CCS is viewed as the required intermediate step to a less carbon-intensive society and necessary to avoid or reduce the impacts of human activities on climate change during this transition period. CCS consists of several steps, starting with the separation of carbon dioxide from steams emitted by industrial operation. The capture of CO2 at the source is well-known technology already used for decades. Different technologies are available depending on emitter type and location of the capture technology in the chain. A lot of research is underway to the lower energy consumption of the capture process to reduce the impact of the capture process
on the efficiency of the chain. The final goal of CCS is storage of the captured CO2 in geological formation. These can be oil or gas reservoirs, but also water-bearing formation like aquifers.
The advantage of oil and gas reservoirs in comparison with aquifers is the historical reservoir production data collected, making the storage more predictable. For aquifers, more extant reservoir surveys are most likely required. The storage potential for aquifers is, however, very large. An application of CO2 storage with an economical incentive is the application of CO2 for enhanced oil recovery (EOR). The link between capture and storage is not included in the name CCS, but is very important and key to project success. Transport of CO2 is done either at high pressure or as a refrigerated liquid, for which in both cases energy-intensive handlings are required. Optimization of transport chain will directly benefit the overall chain efficiency. The transport part of the overall CCS chain becomes more important as the total amount of CO2 transported increases. Emitters and sinks are in most cases developed individually for the intended capacity, but the transport chain will have accommodate the increasing flow of rates over the years as CCS develops. A flexible and modular design of the transport system is required, providing the freedom to shift, direct and redirect the CO2 flows to and from different locations.
Wash the coconut. Let it be dry. Once the coconut shell is completely dry, plug the eyelet hole with some coal and put some oil. Now we have an awesome coconut plant pot for our flowers and herbs. So next time, don't throw away the tender coconut after drinking the water. Instead of that, try to create something like this. So this was my presentation. Have a
Plastics are always harmful to nature. It leads to global warming and many new environmental problems. Its use cannot be avoided, but its use can be reduced. Here, I am going to recycle a plastic bottle to a beautiful flower. It's Lindsay Way. And I am going to make flowers using newspapers. Let's go how to do it. First of all, take a knife and cut this plastic bottle. We cut small pieces. Now let's close it. This flap and using a gun paste it. Yes, we got it like this. Now take other flaps and also do the same. You can just curl these petals just like this. We'll get it curled like this. Similarly, do it for all flowers. And if you want to do more decorations, we can do it. Now we finished our work. Now let's place these flowers. These flowers I have made earlier. Now let's place it into this. Hope you all like this. Thank you and share.
Om Namah Shivaya. Today we'll be talking about environmental awareness. Environmental awareness is what this project is based upon. Environmental awareness refers to being aware of our nature, protecting and nurturing it, and not destroying it. Some of the ways we can protect our nature and promote environmental awareness is through non-toxic supplies, building supplies, and conserving our resources such as water, electricity, etc. Please protect your nature. The future depends upon you. Thank you.